Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are sat inside the AMG GTR 20 Black Series. It's an absolute beast. This car starts out around 650 pp before you already put the tyres on, so tuning is going to be quite difficult. First we're going to visit the aero shop, then we're going to go and add what mods we can actually fit on. The critical things with this though is to make sure that we add all the things that do minus PP so we can add some of the good stuff. Unusually, we've chosen a green car instead of the red. Let's go and see what the setting makes out. So as we said, 650 pp and we've got it to 700. 756 brake horsepower, and as you saw earlier, we really bringing road cars to the racetrack here that have around about 400 brake horsepower. So this one's on racing hard tyres because we're trying to save as much PP as possible. Therefore the suspension is default at normal. Customizable diff where we change it to 555. Aero, we've got a front splitter and a rear wing, that's all you can put on. So downforce is tuned at 214 to 448. Now if you wanted to do away with a bit of downforce and lose some PP at the front, you can actually put some extra parts on, and I would probably be going for air cleaner, silencer and exhaust manifold. They'd be the three that I would really think you could benefit from, but I don't know if you could save that much PP just from downforce. So fully customizable ECU at 100, no adjustments for ballast, manual transmission because it reduces PP, and we're going to leave that set to 360. As you can see there, it's a 7-speed transmission, and that 7th gear set for fuel conserving on the long straights. So everything is normal except for racing brakes and pads. We've put nothing else on the car, so no clutch or flywheel, and just the increased body rigidity. Shall we see how it does? Let's get to the track. And welcome to Le Mans. This is the World Touring Car 700. We're doing 30 minutes in the day. Settings for the race will be assist, traction control 1, default ABS. We have ASM on and counter steer assistance on strong. Controller settings, controller sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. We're using a G29. It's a budget entry wheel, but it's done very well for us for around about 5 years. First on the PlayStation 4, now on the PlayStation 5. There are upgrades planned in the future, but for now, if you've got your own wheel and it's different to mine, you'll have to find your own settings. They are quite personal. Let's jump into it. Let's get straight to the track. Fuel map needs to go to 6. This is quite a fuel thirsty beast, as with most of them. As you can see on the bottom left hand corner, we've only done 4.5 miles so far in this car. We'll take Mr. Bishop up the inside, give him a tap on the door just to say hello. Down to 2nd gear for this corner. It turns in quite nicely, but it does have a bit of a slide on the apex, so just need to be aware of that and watch out for it. If you lift off with this car, it does tend to steer in at the front. It will go round corners, so we put on as much downforce as we can manage without really seriously affecting the car. Oof. We just tapped the back end of that Carrera GT4 there. That's given us some front wing damage, and it's slowed us down as we enter the back straight. Fuel, it looks like we're only going to get 2 laps out of this car, so it's going to be a 3-stop race for us. 7th gear for fuel save. We've got 2.1 at this point, looking for the braking marker, 187 mile an hour, braking on that 200 metre sign on the right. 2nd gear to make the entry. On the back of Mr. Mangiano. Fuel's ticking down. We're up into 10th place. About to take 9. We're not going to catch the rest of that field before we hit this chicane, so 7th gear just to make us get there. Braking. I feel we can brake much later than normal into this corner. I feel like this car's going to handle really well in the rain, and I don't want that to be a temptation of fate, but we're going to be stopping every 2 laps. going to brake just as we hit the white line. So there we go. Mr. Lopez popping and banging with his double exhaust entry there, exit there. You don't enter through an exhaust, do you? Well, depends. Oh, that's a whole other story. However, up into 8th place, 7 seconds off the front. What's the weather looking like? We're only going to do 2 laps per fuel, so let's have a look at the rain clouds. There's nothing there. Just going to lift as we enter this final corner. Just going to turn it. Oh, she's slidey, but she also brakes really well. The Aston there sounds absolutely stunning. So now we're 3/4 of a lap into it. I really find this car displeasing for sound. It doesn't have the throaty warble at this setting. So if you're really looking for that deep throaty V8 sound, I'd probably be chucking that air cleaner, filter, exhaust on, and the engine manifold. That'll probably bring out its engine rumble. That would be lovely, but you'd have to compromise a little bit, I think. You'd gain power, of course, but you could just restrict the ECU a little bit with a bit of a downturn. I don't think you'd lose that much, in all fairness. For what you gain in power, you could scrub it off. So up into 5th place behind Mr. Yamanaka. Mr. McEwen leads, Portilla in 2nd, Blazan in 3rd. Really able to get the power down there as we came out that corner. For hard tyres, this car's got exceptional grip. That comes with the downforce, I think. But it's almost a race car for the road, as it actually is, isn't it? It's a road car, race car. It's not far off. Right, we'll chase these leaders down now. Rain coming in from the top left-hand corner. There it is. At the moment, it just looks like light cloud with a bit of sprinkling of rain. The 3 cars in front really are trying to break away. We are stopping the end of this lap, so it's always going to be a bit of a lottery as what we do when we don't have a lot of rain. I suppose you've got to look at what's there and just go race tyres again, I guess. That's what I'm calling at this moment. We're going to go full race. These two look like they're racing fairly courteously, trying to not fight each other and slow each other down. Mr. Portilla will be in the slipstream there, or is he going to try and make a pass now? Just looking back in my mirror, he's given up on it. Don't stray too far left in the braking zone there, you will pick up penalties. So the rain cloud is sweeping down across the map. Little dot of heavy rain there in the middle, but it's so small it's not going to be a drama either way. Opening lap was a 4:06. 1.8 of a lap. We haven't got enough to do it. If we get into the rain and we go on to put the traction control on further, we might be able to save a bit more fuel because we'll be off the throttle a lot more. We're just 3.3 seconds ahead, and we know these leaders are going to run on for a third lap, so we've got to make the time up with the pit stops. We can't do 0.6 of a lap, can we? No, we've got to take the fuel. We're not going to take tyres though. We're just going to take the fuel. Are we going to take it all and attempt to do 3 laps? Let's take it all and see if we can get 3 laps out the second tank by lifting and coasting. And away we go. So we're shooting into the rain. There's a hole in the rain just ahead. So we come out in 9th place behind Mr. Sugawara, some 30 seconds down. We're going to try short shift the way through this. We're going to try and aim for that's the same car as we tapped, isn't it? We've got to try and make that fuel last, so we're not going to be put off by the rain. A little bit of heavy stuff. Let's just keep it on moving. We want to try and get 3 laps in. It'd be good if we can do that. The rain is barely on the gauge at this point. Clutching number 7 fast. See where we are. Use the slipstream where possible. There's no 8th, but we're going to lift on this white marker here. There we go. And we're going to brake later into the corner. Try and hold it in 3rd. Track looks wet. There's no depth of water on the track though. "28 seconds in arrears. Don't like to be in arrears. Prefer to be somewhere else. Seconds negative. In 7th place, we're catching, but we're fuel saving. The aim of the game here is to just try and negate a single fuel stop. Gonna lift. The track is looking dry. We best get back to the fuel map. Yeah, there's nothing on the fuel map at this time. Mr. Portilla is going to be taking to the pit lane. I don't believe there's anybody else in front of us that has already stopped. in Mr. Portilla goes on 11% of fuel. This is going to be close as to whether he's going to come out or not. It's just going to start raining again. He hasn't started to take fuel yet, so we've got an opportunity here. Where are we on the fuel? 1.9, so we're very close. And we've made it out into first place by some 6 seconds. But we've got to keep doing the same thing. It's only light rain. Just getting it going. Mr. Kevlam takes up the mantle of the lead, well, second place ahead of Mr. Portilla. Mr. Kevlam is what, the GT86? I believe it is, if I remember. Dutch guy, can't remember. Into 7th gear as we come chugging through. There looks to be a bigger gap in the rain. Got fuel wise 1.7. If we can get to the bottom with 1.5, we're on it. .9 seconds in the lead. Don't know if we get penalised for that. Did we run too high on the curb? A little bit of water depth. Looks like we've got the end of the cloud coming. Looks like we've made the brave. We're doing well. We're bob on for fuel. Mr. Portilla 4:13, fastest lap at this time, and I believe we purple sectored then. We are going to blast past at this point, and it looks like the end of the cloud cover's coming. Just going to lift. So with some hyper fuel saving, we've managed to get ourselves into that position. But just half a second inside the time. But we're going to be pitting on the end of lap 5, so that will give us 6 and 7, which we can potentially then aim to absolutely blast a couple of laps. It'll be fuel map 6, but we'll be doing everything we can to get a decent lap time in. See if we can get down in the 404s, 405s maybe, with no traffic, I would suggest. And there looks to be more rain coming in as we come out into the sunshine. And we will take a new set of tyres at the next pit stop, I would suggest. Look at that, 1.3 on the fuel, so we can actually give it the beans now for this final lap. Let's see if we can really put the hammer down a bit. Fastest lap of the race goes to us, a 4:13.494. So this choice of this car wasn't mine. I actually offered it out to JB. This is JB's preferred car. Many thanks, JB, for everything you do for the channel. I thought it best to try and represent a car that you would enjoy driving. I know you're not keen on ASM, etc., so you can turn those off and you could probably use the rear diff settings of your choice. So that was the two stoppers gone for their second pit, gone in at the end of lap 4. Portilla then is 15 seconds behind us, and he will be chasing us down. He will not be holding anything back. We might get a penalty there, crossing that white line. I don't think we will. Just gonna have a still feel I can brake later with this car into that corner. We just need to think about what the rain's going to bring. It looks like more of the same, in all fairness. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of spottiness, a little splash of rain at certain points. We've got enough fuel to get us home. And then we're going to take 2 laps of fuel again. Or we're going to take it all and really drive it. Try and go fuel map 4 and get a flying lap in at the end. I think that's got to be the case, hasn't it? We'll try and put a good one in. At 413 isn't really representative for this car. Oh, it looks like we might just miss this weather then. That doesn't look so bad. We might just get the tail of it. Ran it into the gravel. While we're 4 seconds up, we won't be benefiting from that 4 seconds in the way of fastest lap, because we will be shooting to the pits, taking a new set of tyres, a full tank of gas. We will come out behind Mr. Portilla. I believe he will pass us by. Somebody slid all the way around that curve, didn't they? Missed the drifter. We braked a bit late. We came in far too hot for that corner. Right, this is us for the pits, I believe. Yeah, 0.3. We did well. Too fast. Oh yes, too fast. Gave us a bit of damage. We're going to change the tyres. We're going to take all the fuel. And we're going to fly this to the end. So 25 seconds in the lead. I don't know of anybody else who'll be coming to the pits on this lap. Looks like everybody's ready on the off chance. We're hoping, praying, fingers crossed that we've made the right choice with the rain. There's still chance for a deluge, a downpour. No, Mr. Portilla has bypassed the pits. He has gone round again. Mr. Yamanaka has bypassed. Kawakami has bypassed. Mendoza, though, is a further 53 seconds behind. We come out of the pits with no sight of rain. We're going to go back to the fuel map now. 2.8 laps of fuel, it says. We're going to drive it hard on this set of tyres on fuel map 6. Then we're going to see where it goes. So back to the rain map, just to keep a weather eye on things. Brand new tyres should be hot and sticky by the second lap. So it looks like the rain has passed us all by. We've got 3 cars with 13.6 seconds behind. We can see 2 in front of us. Let's brake just a little bit later. Really treat this like a race car and see if we can chase anybody down. It'd be nice to get them before they pit. And then we would just, every second they pit, we're going to gain. We don't want to do 8 laps. We've only got 6 minutes left, so I don't think we will be. Helicopter hovering low over the track. It's always a sight to behold. There he is. Downforce from those propellers will be helping us. There he was, drying the track after the weather. 2.3 laps of fuel, we're good. And the sunshine is definitely out. We've gone a bit deep. Managed to recover that with no real aggressive slide. The car just turned. We just missed the braking point. I thought we might go to the gravel, but we didn't. Eight seconds behind Mr. Portilla, but just 2 seconds behind the 2 car in front as they start to battle. Bit of a slide there. Six seconds behind. There he is. They're all charging away. That's Kawakami gone back to 4th place. Mr. Yamanaka in the Supra. Chunks of tyre coming off the car in front. So, almost caught Mr. Portilla as he shoots off into the pits. So does Mr. Yamanaka. We will carry on round, not requiring the... Oh, we're just going to carry on over there. That'll be a penalty we'll have to serve. We were too quick. There it is, 3.5 seconds. That's not going to aid the cause of the fastest lap, is it? Well, we've got ample room to be much faster. Oh. We'll have to trim that bit out. What we were trying to do was put the fuel map to 1 to see if we can knock 3.5 seconds off the lap time and still set the fastest lap. Even though we have it, we've got the fuel to do it. We've gone purple, which is good. Let's see if we can make 3.5 seconds worth of penalties disappear. Set the fastest lap on the final lap. It's going to be dry to the end. Let's chase that helicopter down. We're 28 seconds in the lead, so no dramas here. Going to brake at the possible braking point there. There's the chopper. 3.6 seconds already ahead of that time. 30 seconds in the lead. This is lap number 7. We've only got 2 minutes left, so there's no danger again to the 8th lap, which we never want to do that, do we? Braking late. We're going to get a call of 6.5 seconds up. Plenty of fuel. Let's brake early here just to make sure we make this corner, because we're travelling much quicker than we thought we were. Nine seconds up, so that's a 4:05, which will make this the 3rd fastest car here on this track that we've used. Great choice, JB. The fuel safe middle stint to reduce it to a 2-stopper is the absolute business. 2-stop really makes it a little less of a challenge. You had to get sort of favourable with the rain though. See if we can get under a 4:06. Don't know where we'll be with those 3.5 seconds slow though. Yeah, disappointed at the noise. 9 seconds, so that'll be a 4:04 then, 4:05. We'll not try and shortcut the chicane this time. 0 fuel. Oh, we're not going to beat that time. We really did use all the fuel at that point, didn't we? Oh. And we ran out of fuel just there. Oh, but we made it. Look at the time. It was a 4:05 with a penalty. Oh, if we'd had just a smidgen more fuel, that'd have been a 4:0. That would have been absolutely epic. What a stunning car. Great choice, as I've said. That is epic. There is an earlier model as well. I think it's a 13 or a 17 that might be worth a shout if you own one. It'll be a similar setup. And there it is, 30 minutes 17 seconds. That was tip top. 43 seconds ahead of Mr. McEwen. Fastest lap of the race went to us, the final lap, which was a 4:05. Mr. Cato in last place, 2 minutes 37 seconds down. The full race bonus is ours, taking us over the 20 million. We had to spend money on this car to buy it. Ticket for the day is a 4-star ticket. Thank you, PD. Can't ask for any more. And with that, folks, it's up to you. It is the usual question at the end of here. What does it mean to you? Is it worthwhile? Is it something you want to give a shout out to? Is that a car you want to try? Do you want to try the 3-stop? Do you think you want to match the 2-stop? I know it won't make a 1-stop, but it could be more effective if you fuel save the first sector. Try and brave the rain, but we did get lucky with rain. So it's up to you. Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.